My name is Sophie, and today I will do a book review on the book Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator by ROALD Dahl. Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator is a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That book is also by ROALD Dahl. The main character is still Charlie Bucket. We still have Grandpa Joe and Mr. Willy Wonka. But other characters in this book that weren't really mentioned in the last book were Mr. and Mrs. Bucket and Grandma Josephine, Grandpa George, and Grandma Georgina. They are mentioned a lot in this book, considering that all of them, Charlie and his family and Mr. Willy Wonka, end up in the Great Glass Elevator. It must be really cramped in there. This Great Glass Elevator is a very strange elevator. Our elevators go up and down inside buildings, but this elevator, the Great Glass Elevator, goes up and down the sky. You can imagine what a, crazy that could be if we could just be defying gravity. Mr. Willy Wonka says that the Great Glass Elevator is held up by skyhooks, but I do not see any skyhooks in the sky at all. But anyway, this Great Glass Elevator has lots and lots of buttons in it. I don't even know half of them. I just know that this glass elevator can go into space, because when Mr. Willy Wonka tried to go up into the sky, let's just say he overdid it and it went up into space instead. Now, when we think of space, we think of spaceships, astronauts, and stars, as well as planets. But have you ever wondered what might be hiding in space? Probably not. But one of the things that are in space in this book are vermicious kittens. I can't see the name properly, but I can show you a picture of them. See that thing in the Great Glass, not in the Great Glass Elevator, that would be horrible. Like in another elevator, a different elevator, not the magical Great Glass Elevator. You see that egg-shaped thingy with two eyes on the fat end and it's standing on its pointed end? That's a vermicious kitten. I don't know how to say it, but it's very simple to understand about it. It is a very horrible thing. And guess what? It doesn't have to stay in egg shape. I'll just show you a very good example of one of its other shapes. It can turn itself into a very skinny little long thingy like a snake. And it can shape itself into letters too. Very scary. But what's most scary is that it eats anything that it can eat, like meat-wise. Like even humans, if it can find one. How horrible. I do not want to go into space and meet one of these creatures. No siree. But the lucky thing is that Charlie and his gang do not get eaten by any of these horrible creatures, which is a good thing. Actually, I can't even see how these creatures can eat since they have no mouths, but I think I'd rather not know how they eat. Overall, this was a good book, even though the vermicious canids were rather scary. My favorite characters are Charlie because he is very clever and brave, and Mr. Willy Wonka. I like him because he's silly and he's very clever, and sometimes what he says makes lots of sense. But I like him because he seems to know everything. He seems to know the answer to everything. Every time Grandma Georgina asks a question, he always has a very funny answer. But anyway, I recommend you to read this book if you like space, science fiction, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Thank you for watching. Bye!